Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
I'm Londa Sherwood Austin, and welcome back.
You look beautiful today, honey.
Thank
and
you.
I know I start the show by flirting with you a little bit, but this whole thing you got cooking
Thank you.
with the vest and the flowy long shirt, very classy.
Well, thank you very
And I love
much.
your hair. You're doing something different with your hair, and I don't know what it is, but I love it.
Okay. Well, not that anyone cares, but for those of you who asked, nobody. Trust me that nobody asked. Here's what's weird. I have parted my hair on the left side since the 6th grade.
Right?
Because I have a weird cowlick. I have a cowlick in the front and I have a cowlick in the crown, and it just causes problems.
Okay.
Well, one day recently, I was brushing my hair and it fell like this. And I thought, holy shit, have I found my natural cowlick? Or my natural part, rather. My natural part that just works with both cowlicks. So it is not a straight part, but this is like how my hair wants to fall. So I'm going with it for now.
I love it. I
Thank
think
you.
it's beautiful, and it looks very styled, even though you say that's just naturally how your hair falls.
Yeah.
Very-
Well, it doesn't look like this. It's curled and you know.
I don't know the magic
Brush
voodoo
and
things
spray.
that you do to look beautiful, but even when you wake up in the morning, first thing, you look beautiful to me.
Well, thank you.
Okay, The Session with Londa and David is
Enough
a
of
business
that.
program that focuses on three things that we are intensely interested in. What are those, Londa?
Restaurants, retail sales, and real estate.
Okay.
Mostly real estate. And I'll tell you, we haven't had a restaurant review since our vacation because we're really not eating out. Although we did have some apps yesterday.
We did.
So, restaurant review that nobody asked for.
We're jumping right into it. Here we go.
Why not?
I like it.
So there's a restaurant in our town, in fact, across the street from our office,
Very close to our office.
called Amendment 21, or as you like to say,
21.
yes. And we went there yesterday with our friend Adam, who's also a realtor in our office, and we had some drinks and apps. And my favorite thing there that you must get are the shrimp tacos.
They're really, really good.
They're really good. The flavor profile is terrific. It doesn't hurt my stomach,
Right.
which is a huge thing for me.
Sure.
Excuse me. God, not again.
Well, I'm not trying to engineer this program, so I'm not.
No. It's okay. We're all good. Yeah. So the shrimp tacos, highly recommend. You boys love the mozzarella sticks. I don't care for them. But
Okay. And then French fries
we got fries too.
for the table. So we got all three appetizers for the table to
I ate
share.
a mozzarella stick, which they're like half sticks.
Yeah.
To be courteous, and a few fries. Again, just to be courteous. I didn't want them. I felt I had to.
I sure wanted
Obligated.
them. I got down on them.
No, I did want them. But the shrimp taco was the best. So there you go. If you're in Richland, Washington, Amendment 21, I'd say the shrimp tacos is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's a great appetizer. And the thing that I like about what they do is they're a full bar. So it's really good bar food. You know what I mean? Often you have food at a bar that's just but they have really solid bar food.
Yeah. A little further down the street on Fowler is a place that I went this week to meet an old friend of mine, and it is called Shade Cafe.
Okay.
A little coffee shop.
Sure.
And they're fine. They're fine. They do coffee. It's not hard, though. Coffee's not hard. So it was fine. It's great. It's a cute little place. I loved going there. I've been going there for the last year pretty consistently because nobody's ever there, right? I'm like, it's not a realtor hangout. And if you're a realtor, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I can go there and not, but everyone's found out about it now.
Really? Because of this show? Or it was just hopping?
Nobody's paying attention to this. Well, I went, there were 4 different realtors.
What? How many lenders were there?
4 different realtors having meetings, none.
Oh, really? So none of those realtors were meeting with lenders?
No.
Okay, there's an opportunity for you, boys and girls. If you're a lender, get down to Shade Cafe just off Fowler in Kennewick.
Talking to yourself.
Well, that's true.
Go hang out at Shade Cafe. Anyway, so it's a pretty, they do pretty good coffee. They have little pastries. They have protein pucks, which are as great as they sound.
It sounds like something you get in communist China.
I was starving. And
Get in
had to
line
get
for your
something.
protein puck.
But not. They're not. I've never thought they were super friendly at all.
At
They're
Shade
just
Cafe?
okay. They're just okay.
All
But
right.
it is a cute little place.
Okay. Unlike our first review, they are very friendly at Amendment 21.
Yeah.
Very friendly.
Yep.
That's
and
a
you
fun-
always see people you know.
That's exactly right. It's a
Always.
fun place, and the bar food is good, and the drinks are pretty okay.
Yeah.
So 10 out of 10.
There you go.
All right,
That's
that's
the
good.
restaurant
The restaurant review,
review. No one asked.
nobody asked for.
Big reveal this week, David Austin.
Okay, tell me more.
Our website's finally up.
Oh, SherwoodAustin.com. Yeah, if you click right down here in this little tiny window in the corner.
Say it again so people can find it.
SherwoodAustin.com. And go big. Go full screen with that thing.
How do I do
the
that?
green button. See the green button? Hit it. There you go.
SherwoodAustin.com. We hired a creative director, and it took her all of like 3 hours to put this
Right.
together, which we've been wanting to do this for 3 years.
And I like the dynamic page, the way the page moves while you're doing
Yeah,
it.
so when you're on your smartphone, it's going to look a little different. Sorry, I raced past that. Sherwood Austin Real Estate Solutions, you can meet our team.
There they are.
If you're listening to the podcast, by the way, you may want to jump over to YouTube and find the session with Londa and David so you can follow along with what I'm doing here. But what we offer, real estate transactions, you click there, it'll take you to the real estate. You click lending solutions. Do you
And
want me
that
to do
just
that?
takes you-
Let's do this. Let's just go through it. Real
Let's
estate
click it.
transactions.
Let's do it.
Click it.
SherwoodAustin.com.
Bum, ba, ba, ba. Featured properties. You can search for properties, etc. You go back here, lending solutions.
And that takes you to my lending
Dun,
page,
dun, dun,
which
dun,
is just
dun.
davidaustinloans.com. But that's so you can apply for a loan.
Right. The session with Londa and David, that takes you to David's YouTube page.
Which
where
is
you
great.
can
Where you can
watch
find every single episode of the session that's been on YouTube.
Property Showcase. I have a secret. It's the same as real estate services.
Okay, that
So,
makes sense.
and then we've got some client testimonials down here that are scrolling through and a little Let's Talk page. So we don't make you give us your information, but you can give us your information
Correct.
if you like, if you want to hang out and talk and ask questions.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We help you make all the right moves.
Sherwood Austin Real Estate Solutions. We help you make all the right moves.
And we made it easy. SherwoodAustin.com.
That's right. And the reason it's SherwoodAustin.com is because we have many different lines of services that we provide. The only thing we don't talk about on there is business coaching.
Yeah.
And I think that would kind of muddy the brand.
Yeah.
You know that Londa and I do that. So if you're interested in that, you can just reach out to us.
So cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're so thrilled to have it finally up and running, and we hope that you go and check it out. And
SherwoodAustin.com. It's the easiest way to find
yeah,
us.
it's a one-stop shop for
And if
all
it-
of your
Yep.
needs.
And if you need to email one of us, I'm David at SherwoodAustin.com.
It's there.
How easy is that? You're
Yeah.
Londa at SherwoodAustin.com.
Yep.
Super
Yeah.
easy.
So our creative director has gotten that done. She's gotten all our branding kind of cohesive. It's been amazing. So
Yep.
much has been taken off my plate that I don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to learn how to do it, but I know I need to do it. So it just sizzles in the back of my brain 24/7.
Yeah. And our video producer came in and set up all our lighting in here. So we
Yeah.
have a brand new look for the podcast,
Yep.
which is really, really good. I like it a lot. It's much easier to view now.
Yeah.
So it's all coming up roses.
It is.
Okay, so here's what I
Oh.
want to talk about on this week's program. Besides the fact that Sherwood Austin Real Estate Solutions, we help you make all the right moves, is our main sponsor. I want to talk about what's happening in the real estate industry in general in this market right now.
let's go.
I read an article about 3 weeks ago that called Tri-Cities, Washington, one of the top 10 real estate markets in the nation.
Okay.
And that's exciting. I think it was number 7
Yeah,
in
I
that
think so.
article. How's that happening? What is causing that to happen, Londa?
Oh, are you just asking my opinion?
Yeah. How is
Why?
this area so on fire right now?
Okay. Well, I don't know the data.
Okay.
So all I can tell you is what I know from my heart and my experience.
Okay.
I think that Tri-Cities, Washington is a gorgeous location. It's an oasis in the desert,
Yes.
right? We're right on the Columbia River, so there's a lot of outdoor activity year round.
Right.
Right. We've got some little mountains around us, but we're also very centrally located to the coast, to skiing, or snowboarding, and we're 2 hours from the mountains,
Right.
from like the forest.
Right.
We're, 3 hours to Seattle or Portland, or 2 hours to Spokane. The location itself is so appealing. And then we've got these great communities
Sure.
for all different age groups. That's what's really unique, I think, about the Tri-Cities. And obviously I'm in love with it, but seniors can come and retire here,
Right.
and live a very full, active life, right?
And in the summer, it is a resort community.
Yeah. Yeah. And the winters aren't terrible,
Right.
right? It gets cold, but you don't get snowed in all winter,
And I can tell you what you don't get in Tri-Cities, Washington: hurricanes.
right?
And as someone who owned a house about 40 miles from Tampa, you and I would be very uncomfortable if we were still in that house today. Power's
Right.
out. It's terrible down
Right.
there right now.
Yeah. And our thoughts are with everyone affected by Hurricane Helene, is it?
Right. I think so. Yeah.
So, but again, just circling back to that, no matter your age, there's something to do here. There's a lively communities for you to be a part of. It's a great place to raise a family.
Sure.
So there's a lot of, there's great schools, there's great activities for kids. There's, anything that your kid is into, you can probably find it going on here in an active community. I would say, it's just an overall really fantastic place to live. Now, economically, we have a very solid economic base here, right? We've got several industries that are thriving.
Right.
Right. We've got obviously Hanford and the whole Energy Northwest and nuclear. What's it called? Nuclear reservation. What's it called? Yeah.
Yep.
Out there. Which
It used to be the main employer here.
Right,
Now
which is-
it's a good, solid employer, but not
Yes.
the main one.
right. So we also have a huge medical community, but we need more, by the way. I was just talking with a friend of mine who's a medical professional recently, and they were talking about we need so many more providers than what we have. So if you are in medicine and you're looking for a thriving community who needs your practice, it's Tri-Cities, Washington. Get in touch with us because maybe this is the place that you need to be for your business to really thrive, because we are short providers.
Okay.
But we still have a huge thriving medical community. We've got the Amazon
Right.
is a huge employer here.
Sure.
We also have lots of food-related industries, agricultural-related industries
Yep.
that are massive here. And so those are just the things off the top of
And
my
education.
head.
Huge education community here.
Well, yeah, because we've got WSU Tri-Cities, we've got Columbia Basin College, we've got, is that it? Those two?
And all the schools. We've got the
Yeah.
two largest high schools in the state of Washington
Yeah.
here.
So I think that overall, it's just a lot of pluses and very few minuses. Our crime is very low
Right.
in the Tri-Cities.
Right.
Very, very low. And I laugh sometimes. People will say, oh, don't go to that part of town because it's the ghetto. We don't have that here. We
Right.
really don't. We don't.
And there's really very low violent crime here.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
low.
Yeah.
You know, even in the sketchy part of town, and I'm doing air quotes because there really isn't
There
a
really
sketchy
isn't
part
one.
of town, no violent crime.
Yeah.
It's crazy how small town and simultaneously big city this community feels.
Yeah.
You know, you have
Yep.
all the upside of having a big city with no big city trouble.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. We've got a couple of, each one of the Tri-Cities has a really cute, walkable downtown area.
Sure.
Richland happens to be my favorite, but so there's that as well. Mm-hmm. We have a thriving nightlife. We have a thriving day life. It just, we have it all. I don't know where else you could go and find this kind of thing.
You can't go to Tallahassee and find it today because they have no power.
Man. Yeah.
And trees are down everywhere.
I know, but I don't want to make jokes about that.
I'm not making
it's
a
terrible.
joke. I'm telling you, it's a terrible, terrible deal out there. So thankfully, we are not there right now.
Yeah.
And we were 1 year and 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So it's good that we're here in a thriving community with a spectacular real estate market. And we're not even talking about interest rates going down. For the last 2 months, I've been out talking to realtors about, hey, if you've got people on the fence, now's the time to talk to them because it's all happening and rates are dramatically better today than they were 3 months ago. We were in the 7s and now we're in the 5s.
We also have a really interesting supportive community.
Right.
So we don't see a lot of like restaurants closing and businesses going under and things like that. We just don't see a lot of that here. And if we do see a business that's struggling, this has happened several times. They put out on social media like, hey, we're struggling. And all of a sudden they're flooded. The community really rallies around and says, oh gosh, we forgot about you or whatever.
Right.
And so there's that. Yeah. I would think
one restaurant recently when it closed its doors, and that's Tumbleweeds in West Richland. And here's what happened. I had a conversation with another business owner this morning.
Oh, I was so curious.
They were thriving in Richland, right down there by the medical complex, because it had a huge booming lunch business. Mm-hmm. And when the building that they ended up moving into in West Richland came available, on Van Giesen there, they moved in thinking they'd make it a really nice upscale version of themselves and closed the Richland one. Well, the problem is they were in a great location for walk-in lunch business when they were right there at the medical complex in Richland, Washington.
Yeah, and you don't go there for an upscale experience.
Correct. So when they moved out to West Richland, 100% of their lunch business went away. 100%, because the people who live in West Richland work in Richland during the day and aren't driving back to where they live to have Tumbleweeds for lunch.
Do you know if they're keeping their food truck?
They are keeping their food truck, and that's
maybe they can build it back.
Kind of the saving grace.
Yeah.
And, who knows? They'll find another location and they're a staple in the community for years and years and years.
They for sure are, yeah.
So
they do a lot of good for the community too. They're always doing some kind of benefit or, come in today and then proceeds go toward this thing or that thing. And which you also see a lot of that in Tri-Cities too. We were just talking yesterday. We were at an event, a training event on ADUs. Right. Which are
accessory dwelling units.
Yeah. And so in the state of Washington, we're seeing a lot of changes come about by the end of 2026. Each of the cities, according to their population and density, will have to allow ADUs on in the city limits on residential lots.
Single residential lots, right.
And so we were getting a lot of information about that. Richland and Kennewick and Pasco.
Correct.
Representatives from each of those cities came and talked with us because they're already implementing it. And really interesting information. If you'd like more information about that, reach out to us because we would love to share with you. It's too much to talk about here. We'd have to do an entire episode on it, which might be a little boring.
House Bill 1337 is what passed that says that the right-sized municipalities, and it's all about population density, have to allow this. And the reason they did that was because of what's being described as a shortage of housing.
Yeah.
And that's not just in Washington. Nationally, there's a shortage of housing. And go figure, during COVID, builders pulled back a little bit, and the inventory of homes.
The price of lumber like quadrupled over a few months.
Yeah. So because of that, they're trying to find creative new ways in our state legislature to amp up housing opportunities.
Right.
One way to do that is to have these accessory dwelling units on normal size city lots. You can have 2 in a standard city lot, and
depending on the rules and regulations, there's a lot of.
The city of Kennewick is the easiest one in the world to work with.
If you're in Kennewick and you want to put some ADUs up, I got you, because there are very few rules.
Yeah, and in the next 2 years, all of the municipalities that are the right size and makeup will have to abide by the same rules.
Yeah.
They just have a little time to get there. But Kennewick jumped right in.
Right.
And it's going to be a really cool deal.
Yes, and I'm very excited about it. At the end of that class, because it was all realtors in the room and it was packed, you and I left, and we were talking as we were driving away about how nice it is because we have such a close real estate community.
Right.
Because you go into a meeting like that and it, you just see it's so friendly and it's warm and you're greeting everyone and there's lots of hugs, and
it's like old home week. I loved it. And I thought it was great. And one of my favorite people is one of the education coordinators for the Tri-City Association of Realtors, Lexi Witt. So we got to see Lexi. She's like a sister to me. I feel that way. Her dad, of course, is Les Savage, who is my, I would say, number one adult business mentor. Number one. So it's fun to see people that we have known and loved for 20 years. Yeah. And only in this community can I do that. And that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's my answer to your question.
Okay. So it's a thriving community because of all kinds of reasons.
All kinds of things.
And the economy is only one of them.
Right.
And it's a pretty solid economy.
But the economy is super good. Super good. I'm just saying it's good.
It is good. Somebody was asking me about how I'm liking being duly licensed as a lender and a realtor. Just this morning, a local business owner was asking me that. And I got to tell you, it's such a fun deal to be able to spend my time, the majority of my time, with you. I've engineered my day so that 92% of my day I get to spend with you, and that is spectacular for me. Yeah. And if you guys want to know what it's like at our house, picture this conversation, but in an informal setting with couches and pillows.
And robes.
That's exactly what's happening at our house.
Except not this morning. This morning was very different. Normally we get up, we get our coffee, we sit on the couch, we have our little kind of what you call our
daily sales meeting.
Yeah, our daily sales meeting.
In what I also refer to as our war room.
Yeah. It's just the living room. But this morning I woke up at 4 a.m. because I think because I had something on my mind, and you slept and slept and slept forever, and not forever, but it seemed like it because I was like really missing you, and because I got up because I got out of bed at 6:15,
FYI,
and so I finally got up, but. Because I didn't want to bother you. But anyway, so David came out to the couch and he kind of laid down next to me and we started talking. And I said, I was chilled by that time. I don't know why. And I said, you know what? We could have this conversation laying in bed under the covers. And so we went back to bed, got under the covers and just snuggled and talked. But then the talking stopped. And I think we both fell back asleep just a little bit.
I think you fell back to sleep. I
didn't really fall back asleep, but I was in that weird, like in between, not really asleep, but not really awake kind of space.
In a hypnagogic state.
Yes.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it was 7:30 and we both jumped out of bed.
Yeah. I had to be somewhere at 8. So there you go.
And if you don't like that story, then you should never listen to this podcast again because we are sappy.
Yeah, well, we like each other, and that's kind of fun.
Yes.
So next week, now this week, I'm taking a group of agents, real estate agents, with me to Detroit, Michigan.
I know. They're going to have so much fun.
UWM sales success track. To go to the Success Track meeting.
Yep. You're going to go see the big dog?
That's right. I am. Andrew Bartley, our sales rep. I got to tell you, he's such a nice guy. I enjoy working with United Wholesale Mortgage because I get to work with him.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt that they have a really great process and it's super easy to do loans with them. But I get to do that this week, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But
fun.
I'm kind of dreading it because Tuesday, Wednesday, and most of Thursday, I will not be with you. And that doesn't sound fun to me.
Oh, well, I'm going to be busy with Ada working on some projects that we have, so it's going to be okay.
Okay, very good.
I'll miss you though.
Yeah,
I don't like being away from you.
I don't care for it either.
Stupid.
I don't care for it either. It's just not my idea of fun. But I'm taking some fun agents with me, and they're going to get a lot of good information while we're there.
That's good.
Yeah, I especially like the social media stuff that they talk about at that 1 day long event.
Julian.
So, yep, that's exactly right.
I remember all the people. It was such a memorable event to attend. It was great. If you're a real estate agent and you ever have the opportunity to attend Success Track at UWM with your lender, don't hesitate. You will come back so fired up and so excited, and really, really impressed.
Right.
With everything that you see. When they take you out for dinner, though, on Wednesday night, take it easy, because flying home with a hangover is not fun. Not that I did that. I'm just saying.
Did you have that happen when you were there?
That's when we made the rule that you don't order drinks for me. I have to order my own drinks.
That's exactly right.
Because if someone else is ordering my drinks for me, I lose track. Because you're just talking and you're laughing and you're having a good time. And you just drink whatever's in front of you, and you just kept ordering them and ordering them and ordering them. And I've got in my brain, I know I did this much and that's it.
Right.
And you don't have that in your brain.
Yeah. And I likewise don't have hangovers.
There's no, we
the
do
next day,
this
typically.
much and that's it.
Right.
So, but
it's interesting.
So take it easy. Take it easy. Learn from my mistakes. Not fun.
All right. What else do you want to talk about? We have about 3 minutes left of the program. Do you have anything pressing that you need to discuss while we still have a little time?
Think about it. Did we hear any feedback from last week's show that we need to address? Because it was,
no one called me to say, hey, I'm a part-time realtor and Londa can suck it. I got none of those calls.
Darn it.
But here's the thing. People that I align myself with in my business who do real estate and another income stream are pretty well integrated. So
yeah. And
as you said on the show, if you can do one full-time and one not full-time, but it's seamless, then you can. Yeah. And that is a rare business professional that can
I agree.
do that. But there are some who can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've got a buddy who's very busy in his full-time job helping the Walmart dynasty continue to grow. And the majority of his business are employees of Walmart who buy houses with him.
Right.
And I got to tell you, seamless. But it's his joyful fun time when he's doing that to do real estate.
And he's niched.
Yes. And it's something he does for fun in his downtime.
Yeah.
Unlike most people who try to do it, they only have a few hours a week to work on it. Well, he can work on it anytime in the middle of the night and still have fun. So that's one exception to the rule.
Right.
And I'm actually surprised he didn't call me and say, she wasn't talking about me, was she? Because no is the answer.
I wasn't talking about anyone in particular. That's neither here nor there. No, I think the last thing I would leave people with is something that I say all the time, just a reminder that you're not stuck in life. I was talking with someone recently, just yesterday, and they were expressing to me how excited they are because I've encouraged them to make changes in their life, which has then encouraged their partner to get brave enough to make changes in their life. And so I hope that we have, as Alona Meyer, the Olympian rugby player, said recently, I'm building a pyramid scheme of positivity.
Yes.
And I hope that everyone kind of really catches that. You're not stuck. You can make changes. It doesn't matter if anybody else understands the changes you make. You've got to do them for you.
I like that. That's a very positive thing to end the show on. And as I like to say, ABK, always be kind.
Okay.
There's no situation where it's not appropriate to be kind. For Londa, Joanne, Sherwood, Austin, my name's David Austin, and this has been another episode of The Session with Londa and David. We'll see you again next week.